Hello, my YouTube folks. Before I go on, I got given this shirt, and I'm just wondering, could somebody convey what this whole pound sign, the significance of this pound sign puzzle camouflage thing? I don't know, not quite sure. I mean, it looks cool, I guess, but I'm not quite sure I get it. Anyway, I'm coming at you with a red light edition, and I've decided to use red light for certain moods. And also, the other reason that I want to go ahead and do this video is because I got my original black headset that you guys might have seen me with sometimes, my wireless one, was lost. And a friend of mine gave me two that he threw away that day. These Detroits are really pretty good. I like their audio quality and everything. I don't like the audio quality on these P47s quite as much. But I'm just testing their mic quality for now. Who knows, maybe they have a better mic. But for all I know, this might not even be recording right now. Anyway, let's just assume it is. So, where do I start with this? I am going to be talking about an individual in this video that, I'm not exactly throwing this dude under the bus. Let me just get into it. Maybe it'll make more sense. So I'm in a little bit of a conundrum because believe it or not, I actually do have a few friends. I know that might be hard to believe. And I actually have a very old friend from grade school still. I don't have any other really friends from grade school. I run into people occasionally when I'm back in the valley. Here and there, I might run into somebody from grade school. One guy in particular, Cecia, you valley people probably know Cecia. I'm not going to use his last name, but Cecia, I went to grade school, middle school, and high school with Cecia. We didn't get along real well as students, but as adults, we've run into each other and kind of gotten around things okay. So my best friend from grade school, we also went to middle school and high school together, and this guy actually dropped out of high school when he was 2017, or when he was 2017, when he was 17, okay? He went to a science academy, and then he started dating this girl at my high school, so he transferred to my high school for the girlfriend, and then that relationship just didn't, work out at all, and now he was stuck at a high school he really didn't want to go to, and the dude only went to school about every other week, He's kind of one of these guys who's always felt that, school was a little bit of a waste of his time. It's interesting how 50% of the people that say that just end up working at Walmart, but like if you'd finished school anyway. So, kind of around the time this guy dropped out of school, he started working for a durable medical equipment company. This probably would have been he probably would have started doing that in like 98, something like that. And by 2007, Kind of less than 10 years later, uh, he joint owned the company with uh, a few of the other employees because the original owner retired and basically sold the company to his employees. Uh, and then eventually, I believe this individual was able to buy out the other employees, and they kind of faded out, and it just kind of became him and his wife. Um, so now, like, a lot of time goes by because this guy and I, we don't live in the same area anymore, and uh, I don't get home as often as I maybe should some years. But with work obligations and stuff, it's just hard to schedule all the time off and everything like that. Uh, but we dealt with each other over the years. When I got back from China, uh, this individual let me kind of. He had a spare house that he was sort of working on at the time, so I kind of just stayed in the most put together room there until I kind of found a job and sort of moved in with another friend of mine. Uh, we probably weren't on the best terms when I got back from China because I hadn't done any like manual labor or anything like that for a few years, and here I was coming back to the States and not really finding a job, and then I had to kind of get back into the whole manual labor thing, and I kind of really fucked up a couple of things at this guy's place. Uh, I ran over a water hose with a lawnmower one time. Uh, I I I I chopped one of his mom's trees in half with a weed eater. I was just out of practice and kind of thinking I wasn't. You know, I should have used the guard, and it just and it just got to where he was kind of getting his family ready to move into the house because he had been working on it, while I was living there. Um, and and I kind of overstayed my welcome. It wasn't meant to be like a, a permanent thing. It's supposed to be a couple of months, something like that. And that's about how long I ended up staying. Even after I had my job, I even offered to kind of rent the place for a little bit while he was working on it, and he wasn't interested. So, and then kind of after that, this dude's attitude sort of changed. Um, anyway, fast forward a lot more time now. That was all in like 2010, right? So now let's come all the way to like 2023. Okay. Uh, so in 2023, like late 2022 and 2023, I had come up with this idea for a business that I really wanted to start. I've mentioned it on the channel before. I'd like to build headless guitars and basses out of recycled woods. Desks, pallets, anything we can reliably make instruments out of. In this way, we could make affordable, mostly hand built. There's going to be some CNC, but say 50% CNC, and then all the finish work done by hand. And I was ready to go at this because I didn't really have another job at the time. I was only working my telecom job at that time. Things were very hard on my marriage. As you can see, it's failed. So that didn't exactly pan out. And I kind of started reaching out to some people I thought might be good investors. And a former god brother-in-law of mine, I know that's a weird term, but that's what he was, was one of those people, and this person I've been talking about was the other. And this individual I'm talking about actually kind of started sending me money for test instruments. In fact, a lot of the guitars that you've seen on the channel were purchased as test instruments for my company by this guy. And then something kind of really bad happened, and that would be this guy just dropped out of existence. Just kind of dropped out of existence, and I still had about $3,000 or $4,000 in instruments that were being paid on. Right? So, it basically got to where he wasn't sending me the instrument money anymore, and I had to return a lot of the instruments that were still within a return window, and I had to pay off the rest myself. So, ended up paying like thousands of dollars. And then, because things weren't moving forward, I ended up having to pawn those instruments at some point, and then he kind of came back out of the woodwork. This is probably really important to discuss, because once he came back out of the woodwork, he kind of mentioned that there were some issues. And I looked into it, and in the interim, he and his wife had been arrested for committing $14.4 million in Medicare fraud. So now there are several problems. For one thing, I said, hey, this is the deal with the test instruments, okay? I had to pay them off, and now they're in Hawk, and I'm paying on them again. So I'd really appreciate if, I don't know, you could work it out with, like, whoever you need to work it out with, tell your handlers or whatever that, like, you were helping me start a company, and if they have seized all of your assets that they're going to seize, I need you to help me get these instruments out of Hawk. Which, for the most part, he did. I was still out, like, the thousands of dollars that I paid on the instruments when they were new, but at least I wasn't going to be paying the interest and pawn fees anymore. But, things got kind of awkward then, because give me a second, let me try and formulate this a little better. Really what it came down to is, I thought I knew this guy, okay? And, of course, he's saying he's not guilty of these things, it was somebody else in the company, or, this person or that person, this was all done to him. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, this dude's a really smart dude, and if anybody had the knowledge to do this, it'd be him. I didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking that it'd be highly unlikely that, like, anyone else in the... But at the same time, it seemed very sloppy for him. And, so it kept going on for a while, There were, trials and hearings, and, like, things were getting drug out, and, he kept trying to kind of imply that, like, again, this was done to him. And, I'm kind of sitting here on the fence, like, whatever you say. But then, just 2 or 3 months ago, they actually pled guilty on a plea deal to conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. like mega fines, and this was a 16 count indictment. So the plea got rid of 15 of the charges. But they could each do up to 10 years in prison. Um, they have, you know, a mil in court fines. They have, you know, 9.3 mil in restitution they're going to have to pay. And before you get all upset, this is public information, okay? I'm not telling you anything that you can't see online, and this dude knows that. He also knows I'm not impressed with him right now. So, dude, if you watch this, sorry. The whole thing was, I don't want to say traumatizing for me, but I've always considered myself a pretty good judge of character. And although I realize this person has always been kind of a high ego type of person, you know, he's a friend of mine. You know, I've literally known this guy like 38 years. And like I said, I thought I really knew this dude. And again, I feel like I'm generally a pretty good judge of character. I realize somebody being your friend can sometimes sort of cloud your judgment there. But I guess I am really having trouble it just seems so sloppy, you know? This individual is a very smart person. I know it might not seem like that to have done this, but it's like, I don't know what happened. It's like, how did it get all out of control? I mean, we're talking about again nearly $14.5 million in fraud. Total, I think, 9.3 of that they spent. So I guess they had cash. Their assets have been seized. I mean, they bought a 2017 NSX, Prada stuff. They had a screen-used Johnny Five prop from Short Circuit, which, dude, that's not even that great a movie watching it as an adult. I mean, I get it, but, you know, come on. That thing itself was worth $100K. You know, memorabilia, Legos, and again, I'm not telling you anything you can't see on the internet. Go to Google, type in 14.4 million Medicare fraud, Harlingen, Texas, and you'll see all this I'm talking about. So I guess what I'm just trying to get from all you guys here is, and keep in mind, if like I had started a business with this guy, I probably would have been in court. Honestly, I was investigated slightly because he was sending the money through Cash App, and then Cash App overdrew because American Musical Supply was siphoning money out of it, and then my bank account covered that for Cash App. But Cash App does see a lot of money coming in from American Musical Supply, and then a lot of money coming from this individual, and they're like, what's the deal here, dude? They still have not, they're still investigating it. They still have not reactivated my Cash App account. So that has been a little bit of a problem because people prefer Cash App for transfers over PayPal and stuff like that, and I can't really do anything with it now. So it's not like it hasn't affected me a little bit. I assume that they probably saw the money go to me, and he just explained, like, I was helping this guy start a business. I was sending him money for test instruments. He doesn't know anything about this, and probably kept me in the clear, which I appreciate if that's what went down. Or they realized what was going down. or something. But the point is, I could have been a lot more implicated in this if things went differently. Um, this this guy that I've really liked all my life and has been my best friend and I thought I really knew, literally stole a nickel from every American, even my dad. Okay, even me, you. I mean, I realize it's a nickel, but you know, that used to buy some Super Bubble, or whatever. Um, I'm just very like their sentencing was supposed to be yesterday, and I guess the judge overscheduled or something because he's had to now move it off another month. But the the point is, I just because again, I'll talk to everybody. I'll talk to everybody who knows us both. Okay, and like I feel like I could talk to my brother, and he'd probably say, "Oh yeah, he's capable of it." You know, I've talked to a few other friends that we all kind of know together through like computer groups when we were teenagers and stuff, and all of them are like, "Yeah, heartbeat, and he totally did it." Uh, it's like I'm the only one sitting here like wondering, you know. I guess I'm not now. He's totally capable of it. He's got enough intellect to be capable of it. But you know, it's like now I'm sitting here going, like I've literally, I guess, just misjudged this guy my entire life. Apparently, he's been like a semi-bad dude, regardless of helping me out, um, for a long time. Um, and I appreciate the help, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's just very confusing. Anyway, if you can offer any insight here, uh, please do so in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm always trying to grow my channel. And thank you for watching to the end if you did. This is goemonronin, signing out.